Hey, survivalists and history detectives. In ancient Rome, they knew how to deal with armies, floods, and bad emperors. But there was one enemy they truly feared, a silent, creeping plague that could wipe out the food supply overnight. I'm talking about the wheat killer. Today, we're meeting Robigus, the highly specific, deeply terrifying deity of crop rust, the ultimate agricultural disaster. Stay tuned, because the ritual they use to stop this god is wild. Crop rust is caused by a parasitic fungus. To the Roman farmer, it looked like a literal plague. They called the reddish-brown lesions that appeared on the wheat stalks Robigo, which means rust or reddish oxidation. If this fungus took hold, it destroyed the kernels, turning a golden field into useless chaff. A severe rust outbreak meant widespread famine and economic collapse, the equivalent of a major natural disaster hitting the global supply chain today. The disease was mysterious. It seemed to strike randomly, fueled by humid weather. But the Romans didn't understand microscopic fungi. They decided it must be the work of an angry, unpredictable divine entity. Thus, the deity Robigus, or sometimes Robigo, was created, the personification of the destructive power of plant disease. You don't just ask a god of destruction nicely to go away. You have to put on a show. To appease the Red Plague, the Romans held a specific annual festival called the Robigalia every April 25, right when the grain stalks were beginning to ripen and were most vulnerable. A long procession of Roman citizens, led by a high priest, would march from Rome to a sacred grove outside the city. And here's the kicker: the main sacrifice wasn't a bull or a pig. They sacrificed a red dog. Why a red dog? It is believed the red color of the dog was meant to symbolize the reddish-brown color of the crop rust fungus itself. By offering the red dog, they were offering a substitute for the red plague, hoping to draw the god's destructive attention away from the crops. It was essentially an ancient magical transference of the disease. They would even recite prayers, asking the god to be mild and propitious toward them, in place of their crops. The Robigalia was a massive deal. It was a yearly, communal plea for survival. The fear of Robigus highlights just how fragile ancient life was. A good harvest meant a stable empire. An active Robigus meant riots, starvation, and political unrest. The priests and emperors paid close attention to this ritual because their power depended on full stomachs. The cult of Robigus finally faded when Roman citizens, and later scientists, began to understand things like crop rotation and how to physically manage diseases. But the name stuck. The fungus that causes rust is still known today by its scientific name, Piccinia graminis, but the popular name, Robigo, survives. Robigus is a mythological mirror showing us that ancient life was a constant battle against forces of nature we now take for granted. So, the next time you pour a bowl of cereal, give a small thank you that you don't have to sacrifice a red dog to keep the rust away. Robigus shows us the high-stakes drama lurking in every ancient wheat field. We've met the gods of the cry, the sewers, and the rust. Which ancient Roman deity of boundaries and limits should we break down next? Let's check out Terminus, the god of property lines. Click here to watch, or comment below with your favorite obscure Roman deity. Don't forget to like and subscribe.